Well, think about when you took a step of faith or you went through a difficult season. What helped you the most? Chances are it was a person, a relationship, a group, or maybe a community of people who cared about you. We know both from research and anecdotal evidence that life change is most likely to happen through relationships because God uses people to change people. The reality is that if we're left alone, we generally don't default into a Christ-centered life. We are much more likely to drift towards sin, towards comfort and self-centeredness, not towards transformation, sacrifice, or service to others. Groups matter because they help us move towards Jesus by having people and relationships be with us through that journey of faith and life, the highs, the lows, and everything else in between. So we need these places, these groups where we are known and know others, where we can love and be loved, where we can serve and are served. And we need to develop those relationships where we can practice all the one another's in the verses. These are mutually done things, like encourage one another, forgive one another, confess sins to one another. That does not happen in a church service or even possibly in a mid-sized gathering. It happens in small groups of 6, 8, 12 people. Groups matter probably more now than ever before because in our culture, we're fractured, we're disconnected, we're super busy. And by being part of a group, it makes authentic, meaningful relationships within the church a high priority. And people walk through our church doors every day and they have stories of pain and they have questions about how to live life with God. Where do they get started? What do they do? How do they live? And those get addressed in the context of these relationships where you can ask those questions and figure out life together. So it doesn't matter if someone's been a Christian for a long time or is a brand new believer or is just checking out who Jesus is. And it doesn't matter if they're brand new to your church or they've been attending for years. Everyone needs relationships that help them become more like Jesus and that helps them engage more fully in his mission of making disciples. So we start new groups in our church every year because we always want to make room for more people. We want them to connect with Christ and to connect with one another. New groups connect new people or unconnected people in our church, and they also create opportunities and spaces for us to invite others from the larger community. Over the years, I've heard so many stories from people who've been changed by being part of a small group. And recently, a woman told me how being in a group gave her a place to belong and helped her study the Bible, learn how to do that, and figure out how God wanted her to live. And as a result, because of the support and the prayers of that group, God led her to make a difficult but necessary change in her life. And this change then caused her to grow in trust and dependence on Jesus. And though it's been hard to choose God rather than the world's way, she now experiences the joy and the peace of living in obedience, and she's got people that are helping her do that. And that's the power of God working in and through groups. So join the movement and start new groups today.